have a 3-year-old, right? I don't know whether it's going to do, because sometimes doesn't not good at showing both screens, but let's see if we can do it. Okay. I was leaving air. She stabbed him in the back on his face, like, bro. I'm saying, like, should she go down for being schizophrenia? So schizophrenia be the reason why she gets off on going to a madhouse? No. Oh, how's my voice sounds gone?
Comes a week after the defense filed a motion to change her plea. Natalie Clydesdale was in the courtroom. She has the very latest this afternoon.
Bianca Ellis appearing in a Cuyahoga County courtroom one last time before her case heads to trial.
So we're set for trial on October 1st.
Last June, Ellis was caught on surveillance camera walking through a North Olmsted Giant Eagle with a knife in hand. She's accused of then following Margot and Julian Wood out of the store and stabbing them in the parking lot. 3-year-old Julian died from his injuries. Authorities described this as a random act of violence. Last week, Ellis's attorneys filed a motion to change her plea from not guilty to not guilty by reason of insanity.
The court is aware of that motion.
But I think she was sane. That's the thing. I think she was sane. I think, yeah, fair enough. It says that the persecution still can charge her with aggressive murder, which suggested they believe she was aware of her actions, which I believe she was. The defense has raised her mental illness as a major factor, but not necessarily as the admission of guilt. More like the plea of insanity defense. The court will likely have psychiatric experts testifying to explain whether her schizophrenia caused her to lose touch with reality. So the thing that I said earlier was, if schizophrenia made her delusional or out of touch with reality, she might not have formed the intent to kill, which is needed for a murder conviction. In that case, the defense could argue and diminish responsibility, insanity, possible reduce the charge to manslaughter, or leading to psychiatric hospitalization instead of prison. But if the court finds that even with schizophrenia, she still knew right from wrong, and the charge remains murder, because that's what I think it should remain. I think it should remain murder, or because she laughed after she did what she did. And to me, you had intent.
On the docket. So at this time, the court's going to proceed in a trial manner.
The filing argues while Ellis did kill Julian and hurt his mother, she did not know, as a result of a severe mental disease or defect, the wrongfulness of her actions.
Severe mental disease exists, and no one's going to dispute that.
On Wednesday, Judge John Russo did not announce a ruling on that motion. However, he did outline the trial schedule, saying jury selection starts on October 1st. Opening statements should be wrapped up by the second day, and on the following Monday, the state.
I don't know why she's looking like that, like she ain't done nothing. Because you done something. You done something. You done it with intent. Hold on, let's see if we can get to the other part. Because it's crazy to me. When was this one? Well, I'm going to see if I can catch up with how far they're at. See, she ain't smiling as much as she was before, eh? So they must have been doing you, going at you. Because that smile is gone, eh? All that camaraderie, as I call it. Because that's what it is. She was smiling the last time when they was talking to her.
All right, so we're on the record this morning, case 692604, State of Ohio versus Bianca Ellis. Good morning, Miss Ellis. We're here
When she
this
actually
morning
looked at him.
just for our final pretrial. This case is set for trial on Wednesday. A couple motions that are pending with respect to the trial.
She's
that I'm
saying,
gonna
look how
ask
she's talking
parties,
to the lawyer.
to discuss. Before we do that, I just want to make sure I just go through some logistics that we just spoke about so that we're all on the same page. So, Ms. Faralia, thank you for being here because I know you're currently in trial. The expectation is that we all think that you'll complete your trial maybe.
Okay. This is how the law looks into it. So the mental state at the time of crime, that's what they're looking into. The insanity, the diminished capacity. This is what could they charge. This is what could charge murder to the manslaughter or lead to a not guilty by reason of insanity verdict. Did she understand what she was doing, or that it was wrong when she unalived the child? Right. Right. So there's another one. Hold on. So having schizophrenia does not automatically reduce the murder charge to manslaughter, but it can affect how the case is handled depending on her mental state at the time of the crime, whether she understood her actions. I think she understood her actions, so I don't know. Right, so what did I ask it? Okay, so Ellis underwent 20-day evaluation during which the doctor determined that the defendant is incompetent to stand trial, but there is a possibility of restoration of her being sane within the stationary time frame if provided with a course of treatment. She was ordered to inpatient treatment at North Coast Behavioral Health to restore her capacity. The Idaho law gives up to a 1 year to restore capacity. So they're giving her to 1 year. So from that time when she did the unaliving till now, they're giving her a year. So that's why she looks kind of sane here.
Tuesday, but for sure we give you the day of Wednesday, the trial Wednesday. But in fact, we had put that in our calendar for really a questionnaire of the jurors. So if I can have you on Wednesday morning just to greet the jurors with my opening comments before they fill out the questionnaire. I think we all agree the questionnaire will be completed. Those 70 jurors will be excused for the day, and we'll reconvene on Thursday with all 70 jurors being here. We'll only bring 40 up initially and begin our voir dire and our questioning of those 40 jurors, and that's how we'll begin on Thursday. We are off on Friday, and then we'll continue to voir dire the jury until we have one impaneled. I did mention to all of you that I'll have 16 jurors, so I'll have 4 alternates as well with respect to the case. The courtroom's a little tight, but I think that I know there are 2 different thoughts process of how we should conduct a voir dire, but I'm comfortable with this being in the courtroom the way it is. It may be that I may be able to move some tables a little bit further back if you think it's too close, but I'll try to do that adjustment with the sheriff and my staff today as well. And then finally, with respect to the trial, we're going to move forward, in a fashion that's timely. Of course, my job, Ms. Ellis, is to protect the constitutional rights regarding a trial, and so that's my job, and I'm going to continue to do that. All of you proposed a questionnaire to me, and I've modified that questionnaire, and we've talked a little bit about that. I'll ask Kathleen to make sure that that's provided to you this morning with the modifications that I suggested. And I'd ask by the end of today that you give some thumbs up.
On top of that, so the full psychiatric report subtype, while schizophrenia is situated, we don't have a full public release diagnostic report on whether it is paranoid type disorganized severity rating, whatever that is, what she understood at the time, whether she truly did not understand her actions were wrong. Legal standard for insanity is being argued. Psychiatric treatment is one side, but the prosecution may have their own experts, so they might go and check her out. So the restoration of entails whether she has been restored, at least as one of the last public info. I found the court removed the trial date because she was still incompetent and undergoing treatment. It's not confirmed yet whether she was incompetent. But she looks competent here. How so?
Changes to that questionnaire and provide that. Again, we'll be handling matters on the 12th floor. Again, we'll do that outside of the public view regarding this jury and the questionnaires and those questions as well. And then with respect to the well, let me ask, anything further with respect to those discussions that we talked about, anything from the state of Ohio? And I'll note for the record that Ms. Pateo and Ms. Feralia are here, but also Mr. Miranda has joined the table, Anthony Miranda for the state. And counsel are present, Mr. Mack and Mr. Johnson for Ms. Ellis. But just regarding the jury, anything that I may have missed, Ms. Feralia, regarding our discussions in chambers?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Concluding either tomorrow evening.
She ain't so cocky now, is she?
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Mack, anything I may have missed?
Real cocky with the
All right, so then let's go to the two motions. So let's go to the motion first, just to hear arguments, and I'll take it under advisement, is the motion to sequester the jury during the trial. Mr. Mack.
Judge, on behalf of Ms. Ellis, this is a high profile case.
Yes, this is a high-profile case. Yes.
And we requested that you sequester.
What they need to worry about is her, because people can get to her in prison, out of prison, however. I think you should be more worrying about that than the fact that how people's going to be covering this case.
We want to make sure that the decision is based solely on the evidence that comes out of this court, see through social media, rather.
The video itself is very telling. There's no what is seen on social media. They already did release the footage of what happened with the little boy already, so I don't know what you're talking about. Since she got rubbish lawyer already.
See through the coverage of this case. I've tried a number of cases in your courtroom. This is the first time I asked to sequester a jury. And you don't need me to say it. Exhibit A is right here in your jury box right now. This case has had the kind of exposure that I believe is necessary.
Does that mean that since he's been in the institution, people has been getting at her because, she did unalive a child. So, what are you trying to say, really?
It's important, but the integrity of the process is what is most important. No matter what she's charged with, she deserves a fair trial.
But ain't that what she's getting? They're giving her time to get her insanity, her insane sane. That's what they're giving her a chance to do, to see whether she is able to stand up to be charged for what she did to the little boy and the mother. So I don't know, this lawyer, man.
I understand that there's a burden financially that comes with this. I understand that there's a burden by any juror that under cases that have had jurors sequestered for far longer than what we're asking. We believe that the case should last a week.
Why a week?
Maybe a little more.
Why a week? There's been cases where a child's died and it's gone on for long, I can't remember, long, if I remember rightly. The toddlers one went on for a long time. So if it's happening for long, it's not unusual. He's there making excuses, trying to get her off. Don't get her off.
I'm not sure. Depending on how many witnesses get paired now. The integrity of the process. So I've asked that you do it. You have the authority to do it. To how Rule 24H and I think it's a reasonable request under these circumstances. Once the jurors have been paneled,
why does this always happen to me? They are basically saying that how basically social media shouldn't be covering Samantha Ellis's trial, but they are putting it out on court TV anyway. They're putting it out in several places, so I don't see why the juror is trying to get it. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on because it cut it off. I don't know which part it cut off from. Let me see if I can catch up. If I can catch up on this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, the illness part. Okay, this is the part I need. Oh, it's something. What's it got there? It's the illness part that I want to get. The mental illness. This is what this whole discussion is about right now. If she is insane, they'll put her in a mental institution. If she's not insane, they won't lessen the charge, but they would put her in jail. Everything's very slow. Very slow today, very slow. Anyways, let me go by what I got in front of me. Anyway, so the doctors say she was hearing voices. So this is back in June 2004. This is what the doctor was saying. She was hearing voices telling her to unalive and couldn't tell right from wrong. That's what supports the insanity and defense, her mental state during the stabbing. Now, 2025, she's on medication, stable, clearly to her lawyers and understand the process. This means she's competent to stand trial, even if she was legally insane at the time of the crime. Okay, so let me see what else it says. So the competency to stand, can the person understand what's happening in the court? insanity. Not at the time of the crime was the person so mentally. So they're talking about her mental state. Right. So I think she's sane. To me, she looks sane to me. She looks sane to me. So, manslaughter charge, that will more make sense than putting her in a mental institution. Though a person can come off sane and they can be totally gone with the wind. So I believe this lady was crazy from the first time I saw this anyway. So I don't know what the lawyer saying. The lawyer is speaking ridiculousness. I get he's got to stand and do his thing and speak up for her and blah blah blah, but it's quite adamant what is going on. I'm gonna try to see if I can find the mental illness thing, what they were talking on the thing on the trial, because she's standing what's it for whatever, but she said, well, like I said, on the screen, as you see, she's talking fine to the lawyer. I don't see she's not smiling as much, she's not looking down. I wonder what they look for. So how doctors evaluate ready for less or restriction or release. So there's absence of activity, psychosis, demonstrated insight, treatment, vindicated risk assessment tools, behavior on the unit, no assaults, community support supervision plans, housing, outpatient meds, case management. So that's what they'll be looking for, her behavior. That's what they'll be looking for, her behavior and how she behaves with other people in the housing space. So execution. Oh yeah, this is when they're going to execute people. Execution of insane is prohibited. US Supreme Court holds it to execute someone. Oh, here we go. It's going to play now, people, because it's been playing up. What family visitors expect? So there's visitors, family. Worst cases, scenarios, realities. If a person refuses treatment and remains dangerous, the court may impose a very strict conditional release. Well, I don't think she's going to get released. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can put it up now. Hopefully he's not going to play about. Let me see. Oh my gosh, what is going on with this thing today? It's doing the most. This is what he was doing the last time, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna, well, if I have to cut it up, I'll just cut it up, innit? Let's cut it up. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to play it through sound, okay? It's not the same, but it would have to.
Sounds wild, but I can show you
Hold
your
on.
soulmate's face.
Let's play it through the sound, because he's talking about the medication. That's the part I want to get.
As far as you want.
Contact with Bianca over the course of 6 to 8 months prior to this incident. And I'll tell you that no one's going to dispute the evidence will show that she's a mentally ill person. Between January of 2024 up until the date of this incident, June 3rd of 2024, Bianca was off of her medication. The medication, the evidence will show, stabilizes her. Bianca received a Social Security check. And what she did with that check was she traveled from the state of Ohio to the state of California. She traveled from the state of California back to Ohio.
That means she's sane then.
And eventually back to Ohio.
So she's sane.
During that time frame, there were many occasions where Bianca exhibited mental illness. There were occasions where
If she's capable of traveling from one state to another state by herself, that means she's the same person. That means she's capable of doing certain stuff, right? And I'm not disputing that she's not mental, right? She's mental, yes, but like, anyways, I might just leave this out a little bit because it keeps popping in and out and it's not like flowing how I want it to flow, right? So I might come back again and do it proper, do another one on this case because it's quite interesting that how he's saying all this, but then they're trying to say that how she has insanity, right? A person with insanity has a carer or something, from what I understand. I don't see what, like, you know, she definitely has something off with her. Definitely. You can tell by how she looks in her face and her eyes. When they started to do the trial with her, she was looking down constantly. And that's another sign. Fair enough, right? You can bring her up to capability, but then right, it's no, I mean, maybe she might have to sit in the state mental asylum, but I do believe that she has been in the prison, the normal prison, right? Obviously, right, whoever's heard whatever she's done, and they probably said a lot to her or whatever because she's a little bit sane now. She's talking to her lawyer. She's communicating. Before she wasn't communicating as much, but now she's communicating. So he's bringing all of this like, oh, she's a poor, like, fair enough. She's in a poor disposition economically, but that still doesn't give her the right to go and unalive a 3-year-old. Okay, it doesn't give her the right to do that. And I really want to get the medical people talking. That's the parts I want to get because I feel that I have to hear it for myself. Right? There's no point in reading it. I want to hear it for myself because when I first heard of Bianca Ellis was because of this young boy, this 3-year-old, and what she did. And then on top of that, she was smiling and being all weird in the court when they first bring them to the court and stuff like that. So, I mean, on top of that, she didn't get the treatment that she should have got in the beginning. She was put back out on the streets. So therefore, they put the citizens at danger, right? So it is partly their fault as well why this happened, right? So you should have put her in an insane asylum from long time. Shouldn't have to wait till when she unalives somebody, then put her in a mental state place. That makes no sense. Now, anyways, because this is playing up so much, it's doing my head in. I have to edit it. It takes a while for it to edit. I'm gonna leave it right here, or I might just cut it. I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it right here. With that said, please comment and tell me what you think, because I just think it's kind of crazy that how right now they're saying, okay, right, we got to wait to when she's incompetent to do certain things, and then like if she gets the insanity, then like we can move her to the thing. You should have got her in. You should have got her in an institution from a long time ago. Shouldn't have to wait for when she unalives somebody. In what time did I say? I can't remember the days that I said, because that is a big gap, right? You should have got into an insane asylum from a long time ago, from 2004. Oh, actually, it's about a year, 2004 to 2005. So really, she should have been in an institution from before she did the crime, right? So the lawyer talking all this, whatever, because, okay. Dr. Sarah West of the Forensic Psychiatrics has claimed that Ellis was having, what do they call it, at the time of the killing, voices telling her someone needed to die. She also describes severe mental illness. So she's already got some mental illness, which is what I said before when I did cover her, which is schizophrenia combined with paranoid fear. The symptoms, hold on, let me play it, because I don't know. I might not be explaining it right. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Right, let the thing tell it. Okay, because I can't see what that word is. Hold on.
Dr. Sarah West, a forensic psychiatrist, has claimed that Ellis was having auditory hallucinations at the time of the killing, voices telling her someone needed to die. She also described severe mental disease, schizophrenia, combined with paranoid fear, irrationality, and significant disorganization. These symptoms were said to have rendered her unable to know her actions were wrong at the time.
And that's when they should have put her in an institution. What else? Also, her past treatment includes pediatric medication for schizophrenia. It's reported that she had been off of her medication before the incident. So if she's been off of if she had hallucinations and everything else going on with her, they should have dealt with it before the incident happened. That's my thing. You know, it just doesn't make no sense. Why wait for her to go and unalive somebody before you do something?
Full psychiatric report, subtype. While schizophrenia is cited, we don't have a full, publicly released diagnostic report, e.g. whether it's paranoid type, disorganized, severity ratings, etc. What she understood at the time, whether she truly did not understand her actions were wrong, legal standard for insanity, is being argued. Psychiatric testimony is one side, but the prosecution may have their own experts. Whether her mental state would satisfy legal criteria for NGI, if the jury accepts the insanity claim, that's one outcome. If not, she could be found guilty. What evidence from prosecution? For example, surveillance video, witness testimony, forensic evidence, knife, path, etc. We know they exist, but full details, chains of evidence, timelines, are less clear publicly.
And they already have the surveillance of her following the little boy and the woman outside of the shopping center, the supermarket, wherever it is, where like you literally see her walk past them. She pauses, she looks at them, and then she follows them outside. That's intent. So, you know, they should have put her in the madhouse for a long time. I'll see if anything to do with Idaho. Well, that's it. You know what I mean? So, you know, because this has been playing up a lot, I'm not going to linger on this too long. I'm going to come back with another one because it's crazy to me. When, like I said, I'm going to repeat this again because, you know, I repeat myself. From when I first talked about this lady, you can clearly see that she is off. She's not all there in her eyes, her face, and all that stuff. She just literally has something deep down going on with her. Before it happened, she was walking up and down the place, walking up and down that area, and then she walked into the supermarket. She sighted the boy and his mother, and then she unalived the boy, injured the mother outside. I think is near the parking lot or inside of the grocery store. Right, and then they caught her when she was walking down lower towards. She was walking somewhere, and they got her. Right, and she clearly was not there. Clearly. So, you know,